This flip is about diversity in the United States. So, first, I chose to review the TED Talk video by Jamila, and she uses spoken word poetry to challenge traditional ideas about what it means to speak proper English. And she is a tri-toned orator, which means she can speak three different forms of English depending on her environment. So there's one with family, one that she uses in an academic way, and one with friends. So rather than seeing these language styles as better or worse than one another, she argues that each of them has different values and reflects different parts of her identity. Then she discusses how people often judge intelligence based on the way someone speaks. So she pushes back against the idea that in her way only standard English is correct, and instead she argues that language is constantly changing and is shaped by culture, history, and community. And she believes that different dialects and speech patterns, they should be respected and treated at they should not be treated as incorrect English, instead as how an individual person has a different culture. Like you might do something different in a Mexican community with your dad than when you would with a buddy. And the next part I viewed was the crash course video. So this was a detailed explanation about implicit bias, and it explores how prejudice, stereotype, and discrimination shape human behavior and social interactions. So the video emphasized how it affects housing and police departments and society as a whole, and emphasized that prejudice is an attitude that shapes human behavior and social interaction. So while discrimination is a behavior that can result from it, the main focus is that implicit bias refers to unconscious attitudes and assumptions that influence people's behavior without them even realizing it. And I agree, I see this all the time. I think people don't realize that they're being offensive, and then they might say something that comes across offensive without them realizing it. So in summary, this TED Talk discusses the difference. Each of these discuss a difference. So TED Talk discusses the difference of acceptance of speech and culture, and this video discusses that the difference of implicit bias and prejudice, which stems from hate.